bro.
I'm done, man.
You forgot my water and everything.
I'm about to get this water right there.
Because this was a new one.
Yeah, I'm going to get you.
I'll just make sure you got it.
But, y'all problem, man, like, the part that got me, like, I laid my own hand on myself. She had to get her baby. They ain't gonna pass her nobody. So then the therapist said, I'll allow my hands to be used too, man. I was like, wait a minute, man, that'll bless your faith and strengthen your faith. That you just believe and have the faith the size of a mustard seed, and God can perform miracles. He still does miracles. And it's, did I bless y'all, man?
Oh yeah, man. We over here like
I still feel the tingle.
Yeah, man.
It was electrifying. I felt that energy, and it was just like I was tuned on like every word you were saying because and I believe in everybody's own way. They felt that power. Maybe now they can't. Some are like cloudy in their minds. They can't recognize it. But the ones that's like focused and they hear that and they feel that frequency. They felt that power.
And that's crazy because she was great in her field, but she's not around more popular, greater players, and she still remained humble, bro. And that's that your gift will make room for you. You have to stay humble, man. Like, you may not think it's a significant role, you may not think it has the glitz and glam, the diamonds, but if you play your role, God will do the promoting. You started from the Haven to Texas to now. I'll let me go there. Like, the steps of a good man are ordered.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Starting from the jaguar, and now she hit the wire. Three, 2, 1, please.
What happened to the love, man, it ain't involved when it's murder, man, it's all I see. What happened to the love, man, it ain't involved when it's murder, man, it's all I see. What happened to the love, man, it ain't involved when it's murder, man, it's all I see. What happened to the love, man, it ain't involved when it's murder, man, it's all I see. Can I live?
Yo, DCP, the corner pocket, man. Hit that like button right there. You see that like button? Hit it. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3. Boop.
I like how you did that, bro.
Thank you, man.
You work, man. It's you're all on the same one quarter, man.
Yeah. Okay, that's what we gonna say. We're gonna learn how to do the wordplay. Hey. Listen to what I say. We're gonna learn how to do the wordplay. Wordplay. Black West got a song called Wordplay.
Yes.
It's wordplay. Yo, so I eat MCs. Listen, I eat MCs. Okay, check. Listen to the whole flow. Listen, I eat MCs like a bag of Skittles. Mine is so tight, I make you feel mad little. I be going hard any instrumental. Don't be judgmental, man, cause it's really supplemental. It's that simple. Yeah, it's me. You pop like a pimple. Like 1, 2, 3. Wordplay. Hey.
Wordplay.
It's wordplay. Hey.
Wordplay.
Yep.
MC.
It's wordplay.
MC.
Wordplay.
MC.
Wordplay.
MC.
Alright,
Wordplay.
man. Wordplay.
Okay. Well, yo, it's wordplay. So I guess I go in. Let it begin. I'm here chilling with my friends. I'm with my family. They'll be hanging like a tree. There's all love. There's no envy.
Oh.
Don't hate. You know we great. We dogs straight out the gate. Until today. Yeah. Called wordplay. Wordplay.
MC.
Wordplay.
MC.
Hey, wordplay.
MC.
It's wordplay.
MC.
What is wordplay?
DCP.
Okay, listen.
MC.
No more songs. See the party on the track. Now it's Mo Raw, man. It's patronize the Mac. the queen of the field. It's her field, man. You better chill. Hey, chill. More reppin'. Young dude, man, running, never stepping. Yeah, here we doing the wordplay. Hey, DCP way.
It's real ill.
Wordplay.
It's ill. It's real
Wordplay.
When you chill ill. That's real
Wordplay.
When you chill ill.
Hit that like button right now, man. Hit the like button. Subscribe, man.
Like and subscribe.
What took me, you said you rhyme like Skittles and make it little.
That's right,
and
man.
chill MCs.
Yeah, that's right, man. Like that's a high school song, man. People remember it, man. Like, hey, but real quick, man. Let's go back to high school and everything. I just want to thank you for being the spokesperson of the ladies DCP Sports, and like, you know, it's a track outfit, right? Like, JJ, you know, he got a rim, you know, a little court and everything, but you deserve a shoe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got a shoe that can go with this, man. You really like this shoe, man. Let me get it, man.
It's official. My official.
She's officially endorsed.
It's the low bar, 04s, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On the picture, man. Like, that's how, you know what I mean? Like,
Right, and there's the shoe. That's what got done. That's what got done. There she is. That's right. Everybody see
yeah,
it.
go ahead and do me again.
Good shot.
Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I hear the shadow, man. That's her, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing, you know what I'm saying? So,
Make sure everybody can see
yeah,
it.
everybody can see that, man.
That's what got it done. That's
So
what
is
it
that more spice than the legal limit for spice?
Yeah, man,
A little
chill,
longer,
man.
a
You know
little
what
longer
I'm
than
saying?
allowable.
Yeah, but these spikes right here, man, they call it the wish you would spikes.
Yes.
Okay.
Because these spikes, like, you can adjust them at the heels right here.
Okay.
To get off in.
So you know I gotta do my analysis. It looks like the plane from Soul Plane. Is Snoop Dogg in there?
You know,
He said,
that's
So,
all.
That's all we're for every show. You know how I do.
This looks like the whole wild 04s.
Yeah, I like the overall wild.
That's all we play.
now, do these are spikes, right?
Right.
Now, do they move to give her extra, like?
No, I'm with Jam. I get grip to
What you
push off.
said? Come on, man. That's all I do.
And then we told Jet, I like how you put the jet on the bottom and the back.
That's what I'm saying.
So when I get to a certain rate of speed, this kicks in. Yes.
Hey, Dad, I think I see Kevin Hart in the window closed.
Yeah. Anybody, y'all want to come branded, call them in.
That's what I'm saying, man.
It's
Low wild 04s,
Low
man.
wild fours, come
Hey,
in.
D, you see Kevin Hart in the window like this? The leak.
No Rob 04s, aka Soul Plane.
No, these are shoes, the track shoes,
Look, you
man.
even got it from my.
Yeah, run track. I think
I did run track.
Yeah,
I did run track.
I like, you know what?
Wait, are those like the shoestrings?
Yeah,
Thank you.
I did run track.
That's a nice color. You know what?
I did run track. I was fast. I was very fast.
Oh, you get her right there to get No, these are shoes.
I never wore soccer cleats on a track. I just never did that. I got real track shoes. And I think the spikes were like 7 or 8 spikes. You got like 13 spikes.
Alright, so
What's the limit? What's the limit on the spike though?
Because like, bro, I think it's like 4 on the back and like 5
That's
on
just
the...
like this whole.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Oh, okay.
They kind of look like thumbtacks, bro. Them look
Like
like
them
screws
Hey,
and
we
bolts.
off though. We got the business underneath.
That's what I'm saying.
This one- this one-
You gotta look at the business aspect. You got track
Hey,
shoes.
nephew, that's a NASA spaceship.
You see how much, bro?
No, it don't say no submarine. It ain't no
That matches.
submarine.
Look, no, it matches.
Track fleet.
It does match. It matches. It matches.
It's a track fleet.
You remember the movie
It matches.
before?
No, we don't remember that. It's a track fleet, man.
See, y'all can't.
Thank you, much. I'm glad you see the vision, man.
I appreciate it. I mean,
Yeah.
I appreciate how you memorialize that moment.
I like the Soul Plane too though.
That's on the soul plan. It's a
No,
shoe.
Yeah.
it's a shoe, but it could be.
Captain
No,
It
it's
could be the
It's the
Mo-Rob.
Mo-Rob
It could be the
It's the
Mo-Rob.
Mo-Rob 04s. It's the
AKA the Soul
Mo-Rob
Plane.
04s.
Okay, so take off. And
I
right
like, See?
I'm not saying we're not gonna give Keith credit or nothing. You gonna say, oh, it's not that. No. It's a whole lot about four. That's the rules.
Remember?
Whole lot about four, period. Okay, so we're going like a part 3, y'all.
Countdown for liftoff.
Oh, man.
They hate me.
That was like the John Cleese when he walked
It's a
on
nice
the
fit
moon.
for real.
But I like your creativity, bro. Please shout him out, man. Everything he brings, man. Y'all always comment like, "Key, why did you want to guess?" I don't know.
How much are those, by the way?
Oh, see. I was
So right now, we're
I was
still
done.
trying,
See?
man.
I was done.
You know, one won't be like Shaq. You know,
They don't want to get lowball.
Shaq was a Walmart. He's going way better than,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Is it gonna be
Target.
or is it gonna be like Jordan?
Target.
I don't know before Shaq, but Shaq had shoes like, you know, Walmart, Target. He killing sales, so we don't put in Target and Walmart.
Target, Ross.
Marshalls.
You got Ross, Marshall,
Yeah,
TJ Maxx,
Gage.
Home Goods.
No,
Make them affordable.
We're not doing T-Move though, but T-Move takes too long to get.
Make them
house.
Do they accept the EBT card?
No, man, it's all cash payments. Kid. Like, why are you?
We might just take
Trying to
Cash
get
App,
affordable for
Venmo.
everybody.
We'll take Cash App, Venmo, Zelle,
But we don't take.
Dave, that's a new thing.
Yeah. But look back to.
No EBT though. No EBT. So over here.
Spike
Can't really justify
Spike in the
that.
back is bigger than all the rest of them. Is that an
If you
extra
put some
speed?
food in there, maybe some trail mix, we might get it. Maybe a packet of trail mix, we can get it.
Right here, bro.
Yeah. We have everything on the up and up right now. Maybe put a trail mix
Right
package
here.
together with a basket.
Trail mix in there.
Hey,
Hey, I look in there too, bro. Right in the back of the street.
It'll be the whole ride before trail mix edition.
They have all the EBT cards. Swipe with the EBT.
See?
You only need half the cash now. We figured that. That's fair. That is legitimately a fair thing though.
Yeah.
See how I figured out? Great minds, great minds.
I love it. It's awesome.
All right, put it back there. I'm not.
But I noticed.
All right,
it matched the neck, don't it? The shit broke in there.
You pulled me in, man. No. Everybody dies, so it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit. Not the most opposite, you know.
I'm done.
Yeah, man. So, go ahead, kid.
Nephew,
You have questions, man. You have more questions.
This is on the jersey ball.
No, you got focus. You got focus. No, you got to focus. You got to focus.
So, okay, yes.
Focus.
When now
No.
Now, when you plow the fields, like for the season, you use all like you go like this.
No.
You're great.
I go like this.
That's what I'm saying, man. Every time we have a guest and stuff, man, we can never get through, you know what I mean?
I'm very
This thing,
appreciative.
let me tell y'all something about Keith first of all.
Right.
how many people get shoes made for them? You know what I'm saying? That's
Oh man.
Keith was mad.
It's my first shoe I've had my whole entire
That's what, you see what I'm saying, man? Like,
So you know boxing gloves are pretty big. It's the same. It's bigger than the glove, bro. Pow.
He wanted everyone to be able to appreciate the fullness and the detail.
Oh, she said fullness.
Thank you. So, come on, man. Let me back the focus.
So-
Keith was the fight afterward. I think I can get him on fight after part 4, man.
this is on pay-per-view too.
Yeah.
We're gonna charge
That's
like
gonna be on 10 TV.
99 cents. You know what I'm saying? You can order
You
the
just get the
fight.
glove.
I'm going there now.
Oh, you already? That's all right. I'm gonna have this on my headgear.
Okay, man.
That's headgear right there.
All right.
On a serious note, so we took y'all on the journey from track club to high school, UT to the Olympic gold medal, and then we took you on the medical miracle story from Tyler Tide, because I'm trying not to go there no more. So now I want to take you on a journey. So, you have a daughter.
I do.
How old is she?
She'll be 12 tomorrow.
I want you to see this. She might already be 12, so happy belated birthday.
Yes.
Happy
birthday. Yeah.
Awesome.
Mommy's gonna get you a pair of these too. I'm just dumb.
You know,
That's exclusive.
That was
Hey, whoever he is a person, don't talk to strangers. So if you see him at this run, stranger danger, okay? Stranger danger.
Hey, Jeff, you know we always have these moments, those
Like,
wild
you see
moments.
him? That's him. That's him.
Oh, I ain't doing this.
Alright, so.
Can we get back to the question?
Yeah,
Good, bro. So, you have a daughter. What's it like? What is the great? Well, I'm gonna go here. When you became pregnant, what was the mindset like, knowing that you were carrying life?
Okay, so it was an unexpected thing. So when I found out I was pregnant, I'm like, okay, this is the new order for God's life, for me in my life. And it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't planned, so it was in the middle of the season. And I remember instinctively, I went through a lot of emotions just about, why, again, not about the plan, but like what's right now? What is this presenting to me? And one of the things I remember the nurse saying to me, because I was emotional, I was just emotional at the unexpectedness, emotional at the presence of a life, like so many overwhelming feelings. And she says, honey, why are you crying? And she said, it's because you don't think you can run again. And I guess I must have nodded my head. And she says, honey, you have your baby, and God's gonna let you come back running better. So I can tell you, 10 months after giving birth, I ran at Florida Relays on the relay team with my relay, and I opened up on the open relay with 50.47. And I thought back at that nurse, I said, listen now, like that go, like you may think your plan is the most finite, planned out, if you execute well, it's gonna go, but God always wants us to be ready and available for His good works and what it is that He has for our life. And if you are truly on assignment and you truly give up what you think you want to our Maker, then the rest is for the world to receive, and that's when the overflow comes. Because now it's not about you. You remember it's about Him, and she was able to immediately dial it back to this is about God. This entire journey, every aspect of your life is about God. Even the unexpectedness of the pregnancy. And I can say that I did not know that during that time, and being a freshman athlete, that was a lonely road. It's fun, but you're in the hotels by yourself, you're at meets, you're traveling the world. And God gave me my best friend. God gave me an angel, and Naima is such pure joy that every time I look at her, it's like God give me a hug. Sometimes I want to run up to heaven, give him a hug, like thank you, appreciate you, I'm going to keep it getting right. But it's been the most beautiful aspect, and it changed the perspective of my life, right? It made me even more understanding that this life isn't about me. This is a vessel. I'm a spirit. I like being a vessel. I just happen to show up as an African American woman. But what that means is, how do I transcend the shell that people see so they can see the light of God in me? And that has been.
Can you say that one more
time? I will. What I've been having to become a mother, tackling everything and every aspect of what I can share with this journey, it has allowed me to see that I am just a light being in this shell, and how do I transcend the shell so that the light of God can shine and the world can see? And that's what my journey has really been. Yeah. And that's what my daughter just had made prophetic.
That is crazy. I like how you never changed your mindset about that assignment based on where you're playing and the season of your life. Like you still, even when you got pregnant unexpectedly, you still humble. You still like, yo, this came. Okay, cool. And you still never forgot the assignment, which seems like your daughter enhanced the assignment.
Absolutely.
So you knew like you were running for an even bigger, greater purpose.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
why is it so important for you to be that woman example for your daughter to see? Because there's so many bad examples. Why is that important for you to keep that humble, positive example for your daughter?
Because the thing is, we were all created to love and serve. That is why we were here. If you get to have extra, that's the plus. That's because you have a righteous heart. And I think it's important that in the United States of America, where family isn't one of the most prolific things that we highlight, although we should, I think it's really important that my daughter sees a woman who has a heart for God, a heart for family, loves the black man, loves the essence of what the roles are and how we honor each other in that. And so she sees that in my everyday interactions in the village that I create around her, the safe spaces, the level of respect I give both men and women alike. Also with what I allow her to be exposed to, just because it's available doesn't mean you should always indulge. And I think the way that I protect her and what I demand and what I consume my own self shows her, the standard. Right. You want to feel good. You want to put things that edify and grow you. And in moments of adversity, give thanks. We had a great sermon on gratitude, and I thought it was spot on because oftentimes we find it very difficult to smile when we're going through adversity. And it's in adversity that we're supposed to get the most thanks. It is a refiner's fire. It's that fire that turns coal into diamond. If you didn't have it, how would you reach your highest self? So if you go through your adversities, if you go through challenges, and you're not sitting in a moment of gratitude and sitting still enough to give thanks, you will miss becoming your highest best self. And so, I try to be an example of that in my everyday. I will be apologetic to my daughter when I have moved outside of that because I'm not perfect. She's seen me in not so best spaces, but I can come back and be apologetic and say, Mommy messed up. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do it that way. Mommy was in this feeling. This is why. It doesn't make it okay. This is where I was. To show her that, no, don't be perfect. Just be who God wants you to be. And when you err, you have a heart after God. What you have to do is ask for forgiveness and allow people to accept that and be where they are and just be with them where they are. And that's what I want to do.
Wordplay, you need grace. We all need grace for our race.
Man, oof.
See that track and field, the race?
Yes.
Not just the track and field, like the race of life.
Yes.
We all need grace. And when you start grading people and start gracing people, change your perception.
Yes.
Because we are all imperfect, so I give an analogy as far as like married people. Like I had to realize in this new season of my life of being married again that we all need grace for the race. And why am I expecting perfection from an imperfect person when I'm imperfect? So why would I expect perfection from her and I'm imperfect? So I love how you take accountability for your shortcomings, but you're like, yo, I'm gonna brush myself off. God is gracing me for this race, and I'm gonna continue. And D, I ask you, man, like, how did it make you feel knowing that you know such a great, awesome, famous person? Like, what was that like for you?
Word. Oh, man, like you said earlier, man, like, way back, man, family, man. So, it just feels like, still to this day, I feel honored. And it's even, now you know, I probably go back. It's just a good feeling, man, it's like, dang, man, like
when you started running and got to go back, what thought crossed your mind, bro? Because taking you back to CC days.
Oh, man, I just want to feel like I did get a little emotional, man.
There you go. I need you to shed some tears, man. Come on.
Yeah, I did for real, though, man. Like, I honestly, like, when I see all my friends making and stuff, man, or achieve things, man, I be really getting emotional on that, man. I know they went through, man. I know they're here now, man. So, like, it's real smooth. I just love it, man. It makes me feel good as a person that, like, I ain't gonna say I impacted, but and somewhere I was a monkey bird somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I remember when Dave did this, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, you actually had a foot in her journey. You see that right there?
no, I don't see that. No.
But the whole city, though, like that, that's infectious. That's infectious. Like the whole city, like even in how things evolve around, like to come back and to see people like, man, we watched. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, it was.
Yeah.
And then there were like, we watched you at the barber shop. Everybody stopped. I'm like, that is just. So. Matter of fact, I was at a festival yesterday. The festival that's down on that was at the river, and I'm walking by and someone said, "Hey, aren't you Moshe?" And I turned around and I was like, yeah. He was Damon from Brigham. He's like, yo, man. He said, how you doing? We all watched you run that race. And I'm like, yo, we are almost 20 years later. And it was like that brought our generation of the city together. And all I wanted to do all I did was set a goal when I was 7. So I told you around, run upstairs to my parents' house and I want to go medal. But have the youth of the city rallying around. And I think that inspired, because I don't doubt that energy and that vibration is the same as you all are sitting here today with an amazing podcast. Like the energy and the vibrations of being excellent, being successful, setting the standard, offering each other grace, allowing change, people being married and making changes and remarrying. There's so much to life that we have to give thanks for and give authority and gratitude over the growth and be honorable to that. Because if we remain the same, we're dying. So to grow and to change is to always be becoming better, and what we should always be trying to strive to do.
You know what's so awesome to me, like I said, when Key was like, you agreed that all you put together to take time for us. I'm like, oh, that's tight because I'm looking at this, I'm looking at it right now. You're gonna inspire some little girls, you know what I'm saying? Like, like people watch that, they're gonna spread the word. hey, watch this right here. I'm like, oh, she did this. Like, especially like little girls running track right now too, man. That's what inspires.
I hope
you
to.
know.
I really hope to inspire, female athletes in general, people, women, our men. I hope to inspire people to go within, to really go within self and find out what makes them tick, meaning what makes them want to show up better in the world. And really walk in that. What makes them want to be edifying to the world. Not what can the world do for me, but everybody needs to know they're uniquely special and designed for something special and some special things. And when we go within and we sit still with self, we can kind of allow, God to give us that validation so that we come up in the world shining bright and trying to be our best selves. Because oftentimes, if you are that light being, you can come into a dark space and shine light on truth where people can actually take a moment and start seeing clearly. When we're in dark spaces, sometimes we drown because we cannot see. And we don't know which way is up. And then here come you with your light, putting light on the atmosphere. And just and all they need is just a little spark to see the path. And it's like, oh, there's the path. Let me climb over this, move this out the way, fight through that, and get right back on the path. You might be a little tattered, but I'm coming down the path, and I'm coming down because it's the refiner's fire that turns us into diamonds to our higher self. So I really do hope to inspire young girls and women across the world and across, particularly this city, to continue to be great and to continue to find solitude and things that bring them joy and go out there and share that with the world and don't be afraid to be present and to show up,
Shine your light. Shine your light.
We need it.
Listen, y'all, she look just like y'all, so y'all can do it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what Flojo looked like me, and that's why I thought I could do it at 7.
Yeah.
I just saw this beautiful black woman running, representing the United States of America, so that was what was powerful. That she was representing a country of a lot of things back in, the 80s, and to be able to see a woman be beautiful with the United States on her chest, I just knew that was something I could do. No matter whatever anyone else said, no matter what my demographics around me looked like, I could do that. And I had an opportunity to do that. And one of the most phenomenal things that I realized being in Athens, when they were cheering USA, because this is what I didn't tell you. Because of the flashing lights and I was going so fast, the only thing I saw was a white oval of light. That's it the entire time. I only saw Monique when I got ready to hand her at the time, when things came back into vision. And it was so loud I could only hear my own breathing. And what I realized is they were screaming USA. And I tell people, that was my first real experience of America. That was when I had an opportunity to see my country for who they were. So I am very adamant when I'm here on this soil about how Americans show up. Because my skin color mattered none. We were patriots, we wanted to win, and everybody in the stands that cheered for us understood the excellence that was America. And that was void of any color, that was void of any socioeconomic status, that was void of any religious group that you were a part of. We understood that there was an assignment being done, and the crowd that was cheering for us understood that we needed their energy for us to be great as Americans. And so I think that's what made me come back into education. That's what rallies me around our people for righteousness, for us to have inclusion, for this country to put families at the forefront, put children at the forefront, get back to what is most important about each other, and that's one another and what's internal, the intrinsic things, not the materials, but who we really are inside and how we show up in the world to each other.
Yeah, I like that. I used to talk about like shining a light. I take it to an analogy of like grilling. All it takes is for you to light one coal, and it lights all the rest of the coals. All you gotta do is light one coal and set the blaze to all the rest of the coals. And if you add a little bit of lighter fluid, it makes it an inferno, meaning we are all the lighter fluid. We are connected and can burn more coals. And I like how you're allowing your life and your gift. You're like, it's not just mine. I'm not being selfish with it. I have to share it so I can impact. Why is it important for you to impact this next generation and to get them on track? Because, like, the way we were raised old school with principles and morals. And so why is that important now in this day and age for this generation?
I think it's so important, and one, to use your analogy about the coals, once you heat up all the coals and you have a ton of coals that are warm, how long can that grill stay hot? Good bit. You can cook a lot on there. Your neighbors can come and put some food on the grill. The people down the road can come. You can make some phone calls and be like, hey, we still got a hot grill over here. Everybody can eat, right?
Yeah.
So it's not enough that just a few of us become warm. It's important that all of the young people behind me are hot. So that grill stays hot so everybody can eat. Everybody can bring what they have to the table to eat, right? And I think that when we can show and when I can help young people understand, like you said, we were old school. Those old school values are innate in all of us. Those are values that are innate. Kindness is innate. Patience is innate. We experience things that teach us otherwise. And so I hope to be an example to young people to always go within and stay within and let these outward experiences be a litmus of how to maneuver and how to refine themselves, to say, you know what, that didn't feel too good. I don't think I want to show up in that space over there like that. And to go back within and say, you know what, yeah, I don't agree with that. They might be doing that, but I don't agree with that. And I think the more authentic we are, as true and transparent as I am, young people are going to see, you know, that's the way to be. You know, she's absorbing all these things in the world, but she's not taking them on as hers. You know, I'm doing a filtration system. I'm still standing up for what's right. You know, still, you know, calling out a spade a spade. You're not going to see me on my Instagram, you know, looking a certain way. It's just not my presentation. There are some things that I do honor that are private. Am I going to be cute? Am I going to be jazzy? Yes, but I'm going to be at a way in which I want to be respected. So that, you know, what I'm communicating out through photo is exactly what I want to be resonated and reflected in return. So, you know, I think that it's good to make sure that we are giving examples to our young people of authenticity. You know, one of the most important things I learned as a high school teacher, it wasn't about my content, it even wasn't about the rules. It was about how honest was I with those young people, with those teenagers. And I was probably one of the most authentic. You know, I answered their questions in earnest. They might have asked questions that other people might have deemed inappropriate, but I believe they asked me because they knew that I would give them the honest God answer. I did, and I'm grateful that I did, because now these young people are now adulting, and I see the first thing every single student I had says to me, Coach Mo, everything you said was the truth. And just the fact that they start with that, I give thanks to that. You know, because I could have told them anything else. I could have shunned them. I could have, you know, dismissed it. I could have made them seem like, you know, I was too big to answer certain questions, but I really got it. I humbled myself, and sometimes I exposed where my imperfections to the point where, you know, another adult might have felt like the teenager had leverage, but that's not what it was. They felt seen and heard and human, which made the learning environment and their growth even more applicable to what I was trying to get them to do, because they saw that I didn't put myself above them. They had value in my life, and they grew me too, as much as I grew them. And I think that's what is most important that we are to our young people.
And you know, I mean, we have to keep a rule with the children. I mean, 100%, because kids, they can see right past it, and they know. A lot of people think that kids are not, you know, not hip with it, or they don't, you know, pick up when we put it down to them. They do. They're like sponges for real. And you know, just because like we may think like, oh, they don't understand, or we can talk about this and not pick it up. They may not get the conversation, but they hear the conversation. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, kids have time. They can analyze stuff. They get older. So, oh, this is what, you know, so yeah.
And they feel our vibrations. You know, as adults, we
Yes.
think we can master things. The ones that feel the most are children and dogs, children and animals. Period.
That's it.
Period. So if you think your household is good, you think the kids don't feel like the energy's off, they know. They just aren't in authority to come in or able to articulate.
Can I, no,
I like that she didn't allow her position to change her posture. You know what I'm saying? Like, she went low so they can go high. You know what I'm saying? I love that, how you never allowed your title to define how you serve. And you met them exactly where they are, just like God does with us. He meets you exactly where you are and gives you what you need to get through. And do you have time for one more episode with us?
Yeah, I do.
I want to go a little deeper, man. We just going in, man. And your thought might come back to you. It seems like you had a thought going on. Talking about Aristotle.
well, I wanted to ask, this was actually about Dave and stuff like that. Because this is about the, I was telling you about the sage and stuff like that.
We'll find out part 4. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Y'all
know where to find your man. I know where to find that, man. So we'll see you on part 4. I don't know if he's gonna see it. He might see y'all on some like we're gonna see y'all.
I might be wearing your new shirt.
Yeah, we'll see y'all on part 4. Man. I'm not gonna take care of
Where the love? What happened happened to the love man that ain't involved when it's murder, 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 man, that's all I see. What happened to the love man that ain't involved when it's murder, 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 man, that's all I see. What happened to the love man that ain't involved when it's murder, 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 man, that's all I see. What happened to the love man that ain't involved when it's murder, 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 man, that's all I see. Can I live?
Yo, DCP, the corner pocket mail. Hit that like button right there. You see that like button? Hit it. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3. Boop.